Hey guys, it's the Flick Critic here, and since I've been really lazy for the past 2 weeks, I decided to give you something new, something fresh, a little bit different. Here's my complete Blu-ray collection. So let's start it right off with, why do I even have this movie? This movie sucks. Let's be honest. I'm pretty sure that the people watching this video probably want to kill me because they think that I'm an abomination, just like this movie. But I only got this movie because I could only buy it with a 2-pack with the original Predator movie, which was going to be a Father's Day gift for my dad. But then I had to get this. And now we get to the good stuff. So now we get to Apollo 13, which, in my opinion, is a really great movie. And it's really fun, and it's a really great Blu-ray too. So, yeah. Up next is Batman Begins, and this is probably the comic book movie that really started the whole darker genre thing. You can say, sure, yeah, The Dark Knight did it, but this is the first one that really went dark. X-Men did it too, but it just didn't go to this level of darkness. And this is just a really fun movie. For the first time, Batman is really cool for the first time since the Joel Schumacher days. Let's just not talk about those. What gives you the right? What's the difference between you and me? I'm sorry you guys had to hear that, but this is one of, if not the best comic book movies ever made, and it just took everything that the previous movie did and just did it a whole lot better. So, yeah. You think darkness is your ally? Oh my god, what was that? I'll tell you what that was. That was my imitation of Bane, and it really sucked. I'm sorry you guys had to listen to that. Anyways, this is my Dark Knight Rises Blu-ray. Unfortunately, I didn't get it on a slipcover because we bought it off of Amazon, and I'm really cheap like that. But, yeah. You're a wizard, Harry? Wow. That sounds like Haggard if he was on some really horrible drugs. But, so, this movie, I don't know what to say about this movie. I just love this movie because I've watched this movie so many times when I was a kid that it's not even funny. I love the books. I love the movie. Well, I love some of the movies, but anyways. But this movie is just part of my childhood, and I love it. I don't know what that was. I'm sorry about that. Up next is The Chamber of Secrets, which for some reason a lot of people just hate this movie. Some people just call it the worst Harry Potter movie. They say that it's their least favorite. And then there's people like The Unusual Suspect who say that it's their favorite Harry Potter movie. Personally, I love this movie as well, but, you know, it doesn't beat The Sorcerer's Stone for me, just because The Sorcerer's Stone for me is just... Personally, I like this movie better than the first two, and it just really holds up a lot better than those first two, too. So, yeah. Goblet of Fire. Now, I'll be honest, as a movie, I guess this is good. But for me, as an adaptation of a book, which is quite possibly my second favorite of the books, this movie just did not do justice to it for me. But I had to own it just because I have all the other Harry Potter movies, but this is the only one that I truly have a problem with. Now it's The Order of the Phoenix, and so this movie, I don't know why I really like this movie. Maybe it's because I saw Goblet of Fire and I just was really happy to see a better movie. But I had fun with this movie, and it's weird that the longest book was translated into the shortest film, but you know, whatever. Oh yeah, and in case you didn't notice, I somehow managed to break this part of the Blu-ray. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Next up is The Half-Blood Prince. So this movie, not as good as Order of the Phoenix, but it does look very nice. It was even nominated for an Academy Award for cinematography, and it looks pretty nice, but not my favorite Harry Potter movie. Next comes up Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Now, a lot of people hate this movie. Like, they really hate it, and I can't really see why, because I think it's a really well-made movie, and it's beautifully shot, and, you know, it really gets the tone of the book right. And now this is the movie that everyone loves. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. It's a fun time. It really brings things to a satisfying conclusion, and yeah. Oh yeah, and in case we haven't seen enough of it, Harry Potter and Voldemort shoot green and red lasers out of their wands again. I know it's more than that, I've read the books, but seriously, they really overuse that in the movies. Next comes up Inception. This is a movie that just blew my mind and my eyes because seriously, I personally think everything in this movie is perfect. And I just really love this movie. I personally bought this movie off of Amazon again. But yeah, there's not really much to be said about this movie, which is weird because this is one of the most complicated movies I have ever seen. Next comes up John Wick, and this was my first Blu-ray review. And this is just a fun time. It's Keanu Reeves being really, really cool like he always is, but this time in a movie. And it's just really fun. And it has a surprisingly good amount of action with story, which is, I really like that. Next up comes The Matrix, which is quite possibly my favorite movie ever. But, so this movie, it's really great. It's pretty cheap on Amazon, only about $7. And for one of the most influential sci-fi action movies ever made, I'd say that's pretty good. You are one ugly mother. Oh, anyways, so this is The Predator, and this is a really, really good movie. It's just a great action movie. I actually don't have the disc in here right now because I'm waiting to watch it with my dad, because that's what I do. I watch action movies with my father, and it's okay. Next up is Pride and Prejudice. I love this. No, I don't. I don't own this. This is actually my mom's. She bought it. Even she doesn't really love it that much. She just likes Keira Knightley's performance, and yeah, I don't have much to say about this movie. Next comes the Spider-Man trilogy on Blu-ray, which I've been procrastinating for too long to review. Yeah, this is a great 2 movies and 1 movie that... Oh god, Peter, get off the chair. No! Anyways, next up is The Amazing Spider-Man. Now, this is the reboot that everyone says came too soon, and I have to admit, yes, it did. But I did have a lot of fun with this movie. It does have some nice heart to it, and Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone have really great chemistry. And it's a movie that you can watch, and I don't hate it, because there's nothing much really to hate. It's hating this, I don't understand it. Next comes up possibly the best incarnation of Spider-Man since the comic books, and that's the Spectacular Spider-Man series. Don't let the artwork throw you off. This is incredible, and it's really underrated. I don't understand why not many people have heard of this show. So this was a gift given to me by my aunt for Christmas, which is weird, because if you can't tell by the color of my skin, I'm not Christian or white. Anyways, it's the Star Wars trilogy on Blu-ray, and yes, this is the butchered version by George Lucas, and yes, I am hoping to be able to get those specialized editions in Blu-ray cases and stuff like that. But till then, we have this on Blu-ray, which... Hey man, Empires looks pretty okay. Apple-bottom jeans, man. Apple-bottom jeans. Anyways, this is Tropic Thunder, and this movie is just hilarious. It's quite possibly my favorite comedy. I know it might not be the best comedy ever made, but it's just really funny, and it features quite possibly my favorite Tom Cruise performance ever. And the last movie in my collection is X-Men Days of Future Past. So now, this is my favorite X-Men movie. Yes, I know some people say X2 is better, but personally, I like that they brought the old cast and the new cast together and made it just one ultra big movie, and it fixed all the problems made by The Last Stand and, oh god, Origins. Those claws, man, in Origins, man, they had like a $200 budget and they couldn't come up with anything better than that. But anyways, this movie is it's a really good movie, and I'd recommend it. So that's my entire collection, guys. So yes, I am trying to work on the Spider-Man trilogy Blu-ray review, but since that's not going to be out for a while, even though my Google Plus post says that it will be, it was supposed to be out yesterday, but it isn't. So sorry about that, guys. Anyways, just wait for that review. Peace out.